Welcome to Campaign Chronicles, our daily look at the race for the French presidency. Today we're looking at the candidates you might not have heard of, this 2 days before the deadline for aspiring presidents to gather the signatures of 500 mayors to get themselves on that ballot paper. Marine Le Pen announced only yesterday that she's hit that target, but so have several other rather less high-profile hopefuls. And for more on this, I'm now joined by our press reviewer, Elena Casas. Hello, Elena. So who are they then, these lesser-known candidates?
Good morning, Claire. I'm actually going to ask you some questions today. So to start with, which presidential candidates can you name off the top of your head?
Sarkozy, Hollande, Le Pen, Mélenchon, Joly, Bayrou.
That's pretty good. That's 6 already. So those are probably the ones that if you're following French politics, you'll definitely have heard of. Sarkozy, Hollande, centrist Bayrou, far left Mélenchon, far right Le Pen, and the Green candidate Eva Joly that we talked about yesterday. So all those people definitely have, now that Marine Le Pen has announced her signatures, enough elected mayors and people like that from their own party to get themselves on the ballot paper. We know they're standing. But then there's a whole swathe of other people who are hoping to stand for the election, who, as Slate points out today, are still running around, some of them, and have been for as much as a year in some cases, visiting hundreds of local mayors all over France. There are 40,000 of them altogether who can give their sponsorship to get someone on the presidential ballot. And some candidates have gone back to the same people over and over again. Le Pen's team even employed a professional company and paid them 25,000 euros a week just to call back the mayors to try and get them to give them their sponsorship. So it's absolutely key. And as you said, the deadline is Friday at 6 o'clock. So, well, who are these people? Le Point did a poll yesterday in which they asked readers, so if Sarkozy, Hollande, Bayrou, Mélenchon, Le Pen weren't on the ballot paper, who would you vote for? So who do you think won that poll?
I have no idea.
It was the former Prime Minister, Dominique de Villepin, who's probably best known internationally for his...
He's pretty well known.
Yeah, he's pretty well known. Remember his speech against the Iraq War when he was Prime Minister? That got him well known internationally. There's, of course, also the Clearstream case where he was cleared of making up stories about Nikola Sarkozy, fraud charges. Now, the people who answered that poll said they thought he had the right stature to represent France on the international stage. He'd be good at foreign policy, but he's not doing very well on those signatures. The Nouvelle Obs reports he's only got 460 at the moment, and it looks increasingly unlikely he's actually going to get there.
2 days.
It looks unlikely that even though he's quite well known and well respected, that he's going to get there. So there we go. A few more questions now. I've got some quotes for you. Which potential presidential candidate said, if I'm elected, I'm going to make Marine Le Pen my Prime Minister?
Marine Le Pen Prime Minister. Again, I don't know.
It was Nicolas Dupont-Aignan, who few people have heard of, but he's running for a right-wing party called Stand Up the Republic. Now, he's pretty right-wing himself. He's got very tough policies on things like jail time and immigration and stuff like that. And he says that he did actually go back on saying that he'd make Le Pen Prime Minister in an interview he's given to Libération today. He says he'd pick anyone who voted no to the Lisbon Treaty in 2005, even Jean-Luc Mélenchon, because what's important to him is safeguarding France's values and stopping them being encroached on by Europe. Here's another one. Which candidate's policies include developing an artificial atmosphere on Mars, investing in electromagnetic weapons, and teaching astrophysics in primary schools?
Elena, I don't have the answers to any of these questions.
No, but those are actually real policies, although it probably sounds like I made them up. They were from Jacques Chaminade, who has already stood for president once in 1995, and he's standing again. His party is actually accused of being a cult by the parents of people who were involved in it. There was a court case over this a few years ago, but he's got those 500 signatures as well. He announced them last week, so he's going to be on the ballot paper, and he's got a number of quite eccentric policies. And Slate announced today that he also compared Obama to Hitler in a radio interview that he gave to sort of launch his candidacy. So he's certainly got some unusual points of view. One more, finally. Which candidate do you think told our election reporter, Luke Brown, I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror and I think, merde, I'm running for the presidency?
You just swore, Elena.
I swear in French, it's loud, really.
Merde, I'm running for the presidency.
Yeah, quite a humble kind of man, not taking himself too seriously.
Any other clues?
No, it's
You're going to have to give me the answer again.
The Trotskyist candidate, Philippe Poutou. Now, he's actually still working in a factory during the week, so he's certainly not being carried away too much by the media lights and stardom of the running as a presidential candidate. And he actually seems a bit terrified by the prospects, Le Monde reports today. But he's got his 500 signatures too. He announced that yesterday. So there's going to be two extreme left candidates, him and the other Trotskyist, Nathalie Arthaud. So there's a pretty wide range of choice, as you can see. But all these people we've talked to today are getting less than 1% of voting intentions. So, they're interesting at least, but they're not necessarily doing particularly well with the public.
We'll be hearing a lot more about Sarkozy, Hollande and Le Pen, I think, over the next few weeks than these lesser-known candidates, but all the same, it's good to hear about them. Thank you very much, Elena. That's it for Campaign Chronicles. That's it from all of us here on Live from Paris. Thanks for watching. Don't go away.